another gewaltige Shir, this time Erev Shabbos, Parshas Chazon, Shabbos Chazon. Really, it's the deepest, I'm going to use a word which I don't mean just to express it, the deepest darkness. Because as we're heading towards Tisha B'Av, and we're already holding Daled, almost Teyav, the severity of the bereavement of losing the Beis Hamikdash becomes more severe and more severe. And then, Avada comes Tisha B'Av, which is mamish the lowest, that the Holy Shekhinah comes to. It's the deepest pain, as we know. The Medrash tells us that, sadly enough, when the Romans, Yamach Shemam, came to kill out the Yiddish Kindlech, whatever was left from them in the old city, they were already hungered, they were already ill, there were dead people all over the streets, who knows what went on. There's a Medrash, it's very important to know in order to feel really what went on. But whoever was still around, they came and they started slaughtering, and it says the streets of Yerushalayim became a bloodbath. Whoever, they just were the worst. Something we can't push away. We have to realize what happened, and that's the pain of the Shekhinah when it happened. And of course, there was screaming and hurt. But the second that the Beis Hamikdash went up in flames, and wherever the Yiddish Kindlech were, wherever the Jewish people were in Yerushalayim, suffering whatever they were suffering already, when they saw the flames of the Beis Hamikdash, it's over. The scream went out so loud, louder than any other screaming. The screaming that more and more men, women, children realized that the Beis Hamikdash went up in flames was deafening much more than the screams of all what was going on before. They were running around, chopping heads, and who knows what they were doing. Like we say clearly in the most evil actions. The most evil actions I can't even, I'm afraid to say because I don't want to end up the bad news, but David HaMelech ends the capital of Al Nar's bubble that we should do back what they did to us, and he says what they do.
Yeah.
They push it. They picked up little babies and the worst forms of death, popped their heads open, and he says, why should they get back any less, for the atrocities that they did for us, That's Asher Shisham Gemulach, whatever praiseworthy shoes. Give them right back a little taste of what they gave us. But can you imagine the pain and suffering? You go crazy. Who's going to watch such a thing?
I know a survivor who that happened to his little brother. He watched it.
Mamish. That's Mamish the Churban Abayis.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
What happened to him afterwards? He was, and he made it. He survived mentally.
He did. Mr. Chaim Alav Shalom was the most wonderful, sweet man in the world. He saw it done to his little brother.
Can't even imagine.
We can't.
Mamish, no imagination. But that's Mamish. That's the atrocities that they did to us, and the pain is, and the screaming knows no bounds. But when they saw the house of Hashem go up, that was like much worse. The scream and the pain deafened all the other pain. That means that as we're heading towards Tisha B'Av is that day that Nebuch, the Eish, Hatzoy says, when the Beis Hamikdash went up in flames, that was the deepest pain we have. And the pain really is too deep to handle. Really, the pain is too deep. A person should go crazy and understand the churbanos that Klal Yisrael went through. And then over and over, in the Holocaust, they're saying the same similar. People have no idea. Crazy things are happening. Hashem be rachim, what the Seinei Yisrael are capable of doing. If you don't show them, that's pshat. You see, you just answered me pshat. And David HaMelech, one of the Baalei Tshuva where I teach by night, asked me, it can't be literal. That's what you do to children. Well, they don't learn. If you don't do that now, it'll keep on happening. You got to do it. That's what it says. Hashem told Shaul HaMelech, kill out men, women, and children. He was like, man, maybe women and children, my heart. Your heart doing better than God? It's going to keep on happening. Just take care of it once for all. Give them back what they deserve. They should see, There's a story with the Holy B'nai Sascha. You have to give back. By the way, as deep and as crazy this is an avodas Hashem, the same thing. We have to behead the Yetzer Hara. We have to smash the Yetzer Hara with our fight. It's the only way he learns. He gets wounded. he doesn't give up. He's a rascal. He comes, so Baal Shem Tov says our main Rebbe has to be the Yitzhar. What type of teaching? Not the teaching of everything he's trying to dice us, but the fact that he never gives up. He can slam his head, take off his head, and he just comes back, right away. But he comes back, but he's afraid of you. And he has to re-strategize every time. So you do it. Even though he comes back, but he has to re-strategize. That's a win right there. If you knocked your enemy off, even if he comes back, but he has to think like, what now? It's a win. And you got to keep on fighting that until Be'ez Hashem. Hopefully, the Rebbe Melech from Mezhensk says, once you reach 70 years fighting this war, it says that the Torah says by seven, says the Rebbe Melech, this is talking about when a Yid has been fighting with Yitzhar for 70 years. You're not so far off, you're almost there. Hold on another while.
Mentally I'm still 8, so don't worry about it.
But then it says that the Yitzhar is just like, I didn't win this guy. Even though the Mishnah says that you have Moisei Techakla, but again, it means that he becomes, it's a different type of Yitzhar. You just keep on lacking him. So what happened was, by the holy story with the holy Bnei Sas, with the holy Rebbe, the Melech from Dinov, what had happened was, his wife gave birth to a beautiful child. Tzvi Melech, holiest, sweetest, deepest, highest. And the Heilige Noam Melech comes home like 2-3 days after birth. He sees the baby is screeching his brains out like crazy. And his wife is like, not there, like mamish, like ignoring the kid, and the Heilige Reb Pesach, the father of the Bnei Sascha, says, hey, it looks like the kid's hungry. How did you feel? Mother says, it's not the kid I gave birth to. It's not my kid. Reb Pesach Langzam, the father of Bnei Sascha, was like, oh boy, maybe there's something like PPD or something like, this is not good. The kid's struggling. What is it? I'm not touching that kid. That's not the kid that God gave to me at birth. What's he supposed to do? He needs a Yeshua. So where he lived wasn't far from his uncle, the holy Noam Elimelech Lezhensk. It was actually her uncle. She was a niece from the Rebbe Elimelech and the Rebbe Meshulem Zisia, the Rebbe of Zusha. So he gets in the middle of the night, he runs to the local wagon driver. He's like, please take me directly to Lezhensk right now. No, he has pulled. It's his uncle. He's a great man, comes into the Noam Elimelech, he's crying, his brains are like, I get a mazel tov, we just had a kid. Yeah, mazel tov. He said, but my wife decided it's not her kid. She doesn't want to feed the thing. Noam Elimelech goes inside and says, she's right. What happened? He's going to be so great that the other side, that means the Shindalits, they stole him, the demons stole him. And they replaced him with another baby like this because he's going to be the savior of the world. He's going to write such awesome svarim, So he's like, what do I do now? He said, take the baby, go into the forest. I'll draw you a map where to go to. Go to this place. Put the baby down and listen to this. This is child sensitive. Whoever is watching this, child sensitive. He said, now take a bat and just keep on hitting this baby over the head until they bring you back yours. The Noam Elimelech. The story is written in Esek Kedushas. True story. The holy, the Pesach is a soft. This is a Malamed. He teaches children for a living. He's like, I can't do that. He's like, well, that's what you're going to do. But the Heilige Noam Elimelech says, goes home, his wife, the house looks like a war zone. His wife is screaming, the kid's screaming. She's like, that's not my kid. Takes the kid. Mom, what are you supposed to do? Mitzvah l'shmai divrei chachamim, follows a map into the forest. And Noam Elimelech said, whoa, all of a sudden a woman appeared with the baby. Stop! It's okay. Just give me back mine. I'll give you back yours. And he takes back the baby. Whoa. And leaves that baby there. And he goes, comes home, and his wife looks and says, oh, this is who I gave birth to. This is unbelievable. Of course, later, the Heilige Bnei Sascha said later on in life, he remembered that few hours being in the hands of the Shindalits. Oh. It was the worst ever. It was the worst ever, the Yisurim Neirom. Is the Heilige Bnei Sascha, because they already saw. The Tzara is like, okay, we can't allow the Bnei Sascha just to come, be in the world. He wrote the most svarim since the time of any tzaddik. Most of them we don't even have today. So many svarim. What's my point? With the other side, There's no other way. There's no other way. You got to whack it. It's already silly. You got to whack this. You're silly. You got to pop the head silly. That's why I gate this. You know what I mean? So the Metzias is this, Rabbi say. As we're heading there, it's very, very, very difficult to really, focus on the sadness. So what does Hashem do? But we're not pattered. It's not like you have a tour where you're okay. Okay, no, bemoaning this English is too difficult for you. Okay, and I want you, grab some music and go. No, chas v'shalom, still have to. But within these dark days, Hashem created the most awesomest days. The most awesomest days. First and foremost, the holy Shabbosim in the 3 weeks. And on top, the greatest, is this upcoming Shabbos, Shabbos Chazon. Shabbos Chazon, I want to tell you, friends, so holy, so special. It's the greatest Shabbos of the year, Shabbos Chazon. It's the greatest Shabbos of the year. And one of the reasons why it's possible for everybody to feel the Shabbos. Somebody that complains and says they're not feeling Shabbos, this Shabbos, everybody gets to feel it to the highest level. And that's what we all know. But it says that because in the week, the Shekhinah falls so low. But Shabbos is all about the Aliyah Soilus. Shabbos, God brings all the worlds back to the purpose. It's this Achet. Shabbos is Rosa the Echad. It's the secret. Everything reunites into the Yichud Elyon as one. So no matter where we are, we get so uplifted to the highest level that you mamish feel. You know, a guy tells you jump a step or jump down a step, you don't really feel the wind. You can make a big jump off a cliff or somehow you don't know how to jump on top of a cliff. You feel that jump. It's like, woo! Temperature rise. Yeah, you go on the airplane, you also on the ear pops, everything, Jesus says, that's Shabbos, you feel it. The Shabbos, all the sun comes in, it's mamish. When we ashbis yorim evyon, Eibishter brings us mamish to the highest levels of dveikus where everybody can feel Shabbos. And it's a kiss from Hashem. Hashem is like, the only reason why it was so painful, I never felt like I did this week. I'm not even embarrassed to say because I know that this is the mitzvah of the neshama feeling the galus, the worst week. But Hashem says, you think it was like that? I want to give you the best Shabbos ever. Shabbos Chazon comes and it's such an awesome Shabbos that the Shabbos is happy, it's freilich. We all know the famous story of the holy Beis Aaron from Karlin, the holy Karlina. The Aaron from Karlin, the Beis Aaron, he said as follows. There's a story. He came to make a tish in the city. That city had a lot of misnagdim, those that were anti the Chassidim. And as we know, by Chassidim, we didn't change anything from Shabbos Chazon. There were those that had a custom. There were those in certain places which the Vilna Gaon was very against, and of course the Chassidim joined. You always find common ground. And this Shabbos, the Vilna Gaon and the Chassidim agree that you don't change. You don't change your levushim. But there were, you don't go into more. There were in the English places. There were some places that the Oberland, the Shabbos, they did. They did. The woman didn't wear jewelry on Shabbos, or some places that they didn't even wear big Shabbos. That's very extreme. Certain places, which the Mechzalazar says, it really comes from the jokesters and the jesters, which we're not allowed to do. They used to use for the Chodoidi the tune of Kinnis. Mechzalazar screams and says it's Avelus, but it's Mamish. But there were people that made certain changes. Most Chassidim, the Shem Tov was the opposite. The Shabbos is more special than anything. More special than anything. Shabbos Kodesh. Shabbos? The Yeda Haba. Shabbos Kodesh is the greatest, most awesomest, especially Shabbos Chazon, because the Geula lies in the Shabbos. If Tisha B'Av is in the Shabbos, right? Because we know that whatever is happening in the next few days is all born and taken out of Shabbos. So in Shabbos is the Geula, because Mashiach, the Arizal says, is born on Tisha B'Av. After Chatzos, midday, when the Avela stops, you got to get up. Catch yourself before you got to get up. But it's a drug, and they can just sit more and more. So, get up, now rejoice. Get up. So therefore, that Geula is born in Shabbos. So technically, and this is what I'm going to share with you the greatest thing, not only is it just an idea, I really wish so. It's the Metzias. It's the reality. And then he comes to Bnei Yissaschar as well. I said a story about the Bnei Yissaschar. This is Bnei Yissaschar. Now we're going to get healed from the Bnei Yissaschar. Bnei Yissaschar says the most amazing Torah in the world, and we're going to understand why we call this Shabbos Shabbos Chazon after the Torah, and what it means for us. So first, let me share with you. This week, we all know, is called Shabbos Chazon. Why? Because the Torah this week starts off Chazon Yeshayahu. Yeshaya Navi had a vision, he had a nevuah. Now these the past weeks of Pinchas and Matas Maseh, after of Matas, are also really, it's the first week is Divrei Yirmiyahu, Devar, Dibur. Last week was Shimon, this week is Chazon. We have all the Chushim. You have speech, sight, and listening. First Shabbos was Divrei Yirmiyahu. Yirmiyahu Navi is giving us Musar to shape up. He speaks. Shimon, last week's Parsha, the Navi tells us, listen. This week he's saying Chazon. Use your eyes. All our Chushim, we have to be on all alert to hear the Gula. The Rosh Hashanah, so that is Chodesh, Chadash, Chadesh. Chodesh is Chazon, Divrei, Shimon. The Holy Minchas Elazar writes that we know that this month of Chodesh Av, why is it called Chodesh Av? Really, listen, it's called Chodesh Aviv. Why is it called Chodesh Aviv? Because it's Av Yud Beis. Nisan is the first of the 12 months. But eventually, when the Gula comes, you know where we're going to start counting the first month? Chodesh Av, Daddy's month. The month of the first, that's going to be Chodesh Av. This is going to be the Sapach. What do you call the Shabbos before Rosh Chodesh Nisan? Before Rosh Chodesh? Shabbos HaChodesh. Shabbos HaChodesh, right? Shabbos HaChodesh. Chodesh, because that's the week that we call. We read, there's the 4 Shabbosim, right? You have Shkolim, Zachor, Parah, and Chodesh. Chodesh is before. Here we have Chodesh. We've been reading Chodesh. You have Chazon, you had Divrei, and you had Shimur. Rosh Hashanah is Chodesh. Because this is, before we come into Chodesh Av, we have to have Shabbos HaChodesh. So, by Nisan, it's all in one Shabbos. Here it's been divided through the Shloshim Perimusa. It's been, we have the Rosh Hashanah and the Haftarah or Chodesh, because before Chodesh Av, just like by Nisan, Chodesh HaAviv, it's the first, you have to have Shabbos HaChodesh. So too before Chodesh Av, which will be the father figure month. So all the other months you have to have Chodesh, which was first. This week you have Chazon, you had Divrei, you had Shimu, which is Rosh Hashanah's Chodesh. Because Shabbos HaChodesh comes before Chodesh Av. This is the renewal. Now listen to this. But we know, did you tell anybody last week, you should have a wonderful Shabbos Shimu. 2 weeks ago, you say you should have a wonderful Shabbos Divrei. No. But this week, many people should have a wonderful Shabbos Chazon. This week is Shabbos Chazon. Why Shabbos Chazon? Everyone is saying Shabbos Chazon. And the other week, last week, which is also a special Shabbos, that's totally in the Rosh Hashanah, nobody said, good Shabbos Shimu. He said, good Shabbos Matas Maseh, good Shabbos, Shabbos Mavarchim. What's going on? So you ready for this, Chavra? Rabbi Yisrael, you got to hear this. I'm going to answer this with the Bnei Yisrael. The head of Bnei Yisrael teaches us. He asks a wonderful question. Do you know what a great Navi Yeshaya Navi was? Yeshaya Navi was such a great, The Heilige Navi Yeshaya was such a great Navi. Why did he have a Nevuah? There's different level Nevuahs, different level prophecies. There's a level where a person can have a prophecy where it's a Dvar. Hashem could tell him something. He could hear something. Sure. Then there's a lesser level called the Chazon. He saw a message.
Like Daniel.
Again, God, yeah. He was a lower level prophecy. His prophecy came in messages. You had to read and understand what was saying. But Yeshaya, no, he's the greatest Navi in the world. He should be talking to Hashem. Why does it say Chazon Yeshaya? He merited a nevuah, which is just a vision.
Yeah, wasn't he a Gilgal of Shlomo Melech?
Yeshaya.
Yeah.
Biggest.
Or no, I'm talking Yirmiyah. Sorry.
No, Yeshaya himself was Yeshaya by much. What's Chazon Asher Chazon? Why such a low level? You know what the Holy Bnei Yisrael answers? The only nevuah which could actually change. If Hashem says something, the Var Hashem can never be changed. Hashem says something, boom! Var Hashem Shemayim Nasu. You know why the heavens and earth are still standing? Because one time Hashem said, "Ye are right. There should be Shemayim, should be earth." Ever since, Hashem says something it can never be retracted. That's what we know by Moshe Rabbeinu. When Moshe Rabbeinu and Hashem tells Moshe Rabbeinu, maybe I should just destroy maybe I should just destroy maybe I should just destroy the whole nation of Klal Yisrael. Yeah, after the Chet Egel, and we'll make Moshe Rabbeinu. We'll start over from you. Remember, Hashem tells Moshe, sure, everybody start from you. The Gemara says, just from that, Hashem said that, Moshe Rabbeinu's children, Gershon and Eliezer had the most children in their tribes. They had the biggest families. Just because Hashem said, we'll start over from you, just because Hashem said that, automatically there was such a riboy, it was so big. So when Hashem says something, it can't be retracted.
I remember reading it that Hashem did a Taurus Nadar. Moshe Rabbeinu was the
dying. So listen to this. A chizoyon, when Hashem sends a tziruf of letters, a message, you could take that same words and just change around the letters for a completely different message. Chazon Yeshayahu, then Omer Tasher Chazal, Yud Yerushalayim. Shehanavi saw the saddest thing. Yerushalayim is going to go up in flames. Artzechem Shemama, Rechem Serufas Be'esh. The worst things, and the whole thing's going to go up in flames. He saw it as a message. He tells the Yiddish Kiddush, he tells the Jewish people, Rabbi say, I got a vision. But the good news is it's only a vision if you do tshuva. The letters can be in the schalaf, we can change around the letters and it'll be the most best messages, the biggest kisses and the biggest presents and the biggest gula from Hashem. Therefore we read Chazon right before Tisha B'Av. And we wish each other have a wonderful Shabbos Chazon to remind one another. Chavra, it does not have to be 1,000,000%. It's not gezerah that it will be. We have the opportunity to change it because it's only a chazoyan. It wasn't a dvar Hashem. It's only a message of letters that if we do tshuva, Hashem could take that message and just change around the letters and a whole other message will come out. A message of Gula, a message of Yeshua, a message of the biggest, most amazing things in the world. So Rabbi said, now that we're heading into this Shabbos, let us all gather together. But Frat tonight soon is going to be the Ariya Kodesh's Yortzak. And the Holy Ari starts off the first thing in Shara Kavanos. First thing before any high Kavanos and meditations. A very simple thing. Starts off with Tefillah Shachris. You're about to start singing Hashem, you're about to daven. You're about to make meditations. Ari says, and it says that it's imprinted on his gravestone. Ari says before every tefillah say, Hareini mekabel l'lai, mitzvahs l'sei shal, v'ahavta l'reyacha kamocha. You're about to daven. You want to daven? This is the deepest secret that Rizal told us. You want the tefillahs to be uplifted? You want to go to Kisei HaKavod? Don't think about yourself. You're about to daven, be mekabel on yourself. You love everything. You're going to daven for everybody. Everyone's going to be nichol on your tefillahs. That's the highest meditation. That's the biggest way to get to tefillah something. Before anything high. First thing Shara Kavanah starts off with is the mitzvah that the Rizal told everybody before. Whatever you say, you're mekabel on yourself to love every single year. Let's eradicate the sin of chinam. Let's eradicate the idea of thinking falsely and making in our own minds that they're all our false functions. Let's focus on the positivity. Let's focus chazon. Let's have positive vision. Let's have vision to change around this message. It should be a message of geula, of Yeshua, of simcha, v'sasa, and yimatzeva, v'mheira, amen, v'yamen.
Amen. Can I ask you a question?